In this module, we'll explore React's powerful context API and how to safely use it with higher order components. This point in the project so far is tagged as Module 4 Start. Make sure that you have both PM2 and Webpack running, and you should see the simple application rendering here from asynchronous data, both client-side and server-side. So far, the application is really simple. We haven't done any type checking in our application at all, which generally means that when we have problems, we're not going to be able to discover those problems easily. So to protect ourselves from that, we can utilize the prop types package from React. And it's really simple. We just import prop types and define a prop types object with the properties that we need defined types for. But before we do that, let's introduce a problem. Let's take a look at the article component. So the article component assumes that it has an article object on the props, and then it uses many properties of that object, including title and date, and actually modify the date. So if somehow the article component was rendered with an article that does not have the date property, we're in trouble. Let's simulate that. In the test data, let's just remove one of these date properties. And let's try to re-render. You'll notice that this article now has an invalid date, and React didn't really warn me about this at all. And that's because I don't have any type checking for my properties. So let's fix that. We'll import prop types from the prop types package. This is a dependency that we need to bring in. Yarn add prop types. Run Webpack again. And to use prop types, under the definition of the article component, we will define a prop types object. This object has a property for every prop that we need to define types for. So we're interested in the article prop. Now we have many options for the prop types. In fact, they're all listed here. So you can do things like number, object, string, simple. But if you have an object with a certain shape, this shape prop type is really great, because with it, we can define the prop types for the properties of an article. So let's do that. So article is prop types dot shape. To solve the problem that we just introduced, we need to define the date property, which is prop types dot string, and it's required. So I can't actually render my article component without a date property on the article that I pass to the article component. So how is that going to help me? Well, if I re-render the application now, I get a warning from React. The date is marked required, but the value is undefined. So I have a clear signal here that I have a problem, which is really handy. This is the minimum type checking that you should do in a React application. If you want to have more features into type checking, there is FlowType from Facebook as well, which is a static type checker for JavaScript. And you can use Flow here for all JavaScript, not just React components. Okay, so now with this is required signal there, if we put the missing date back, that warning is going to go away. Refresh, it's rendering, no warning. Of course, we should define all the properties of an article here. So we have title, we have date, and we have body, and actually all of them are strings and required. So title and body. Make sure things are rendering without any errors.